Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Jillin. I am one of your hosts, Christina Walkinshaw, and back in this studio with me, home sweet home, I have my lover, my fellow bitch.
I think you bought these shirts just so that we'd both wear them and everybody could see how much bigger your boobs are than mine.
Oh my God, well, this is all padding. Guys, it's like a bumper car down here. I get smashed into the wall. I get smashed into...
Christina bought us matching shirts. If you watch on YouTube, you can see it says Best Bitches.
Best bitches. And I got these next door. That shop, she has shirts out there for 99 cents. So I got two. I paid in quarters.
That's such a deal.
Now my purse is lighter, and my pits can air out.
Yeah.
Yeah. With us, as always, is our new co-host, the Dudes Beer. Dudes
Brewery in Santa Monica. Well, there's several of them. This was given to us by the lovely Sean in Santa Monica, but there's dudes all over. Where are they? Torrance?
6.9%. Kinky.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Why do you look? Now you're going to be paranoid.
I always look because...
Next time I'm going to get a marker and I'm going to mark out what the percentage of the beer is.
Mark my words, because I feel like right now a lot of people are going sober. Like, I feel like sobriety is the new veganism. Where, like, everybody's like, oh, I haven't drank in 3 months, and I'm not drinking. I'm like, I know. I'm the only fucking bad person alive now. I'm the only lush left. But I feel like, here's the thing. I am a drinker, but I do appreciate the session IPAs, because I do like drinking beer, but I don't necessarily want, like, an 8% beer. Like, I would prefer a 4% beer. Like, I would like the session IPAs, which I think they have one, too. But that way you can enjoy some beers, but not get like hammered.
I didn't know it was that strong. I will look next time.
Oh, but it is fucking delicious, if I could say that.
Plus, just because other people are getting sober doesn't mean you should. You should if you want to.
No, do you?
But other people doing it, I feel like it affects you because this isn't the first time you've mentioned that.
I know. I feel like it is a little bit. I don't know. It doesn't it makes. Well, you know, I don't know. It's weird when something is all around you. Then it feels like it's a sign. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, why is everybody quitting drinking? But Paul, you're drinking again, right?
Yes.
Thank God. Okay.
Oh, well, I'm going to say I'm happy to hear that, but it's not because I'm promoting alcoholism. But I know that you said there was something with the doctor, so I'm glad that your yes means that you're healthy.
Yeah, it wasn't that. I just had a virus. I thought I thought I was developing like an allergy to alcohol.
Oh no.
And I was like,
yeah, you made me nervous when you said your doctor told you to stop drinking because you're so young.
Yeah, I was ready to end it. Just after that. No, I'm just joking.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm sorry, I did not know you were drinking again. I would have brought you a beer.
That's okay.
I got used to you not, but now I know for the future. If you want to partake, we're always happy to include you. Anyway,
but the good news, we're still drinking beer. Our boobs look great. We're in matching T-shirts. You're back from Bermuda, where you're back from your cruise.
Yes.
And I know you have so much to report. Now, I think we did, on the last podcast, briefly mention how you didn't actually make the first part of the cruise, but then you finally got on the Wednesday, and everything's okay.
Oh, you did? Well, thank you for letting all our fans know what was happening in my life.
We did. And then me and Anessa had like a nice little powwow about public meltdowns. 'Cause I think I might have mentioned how you cried in an airport, and then we're like, oh yeah, there's been some meltdowns in public for both of us. So.
Okay, well, speaking of beer, and have you ever, sometimes 2 sips, you like physically feel a change happen in your brain?
Yes.
Like you feel it switch and you're like, oh no. So after all that happened in Dallas, okay, well, I'll just fill in briefly. I was supposed to fly to New York. My plane got stuck in Dallas and I got stuck there for 3 days. And then the lovely people at Norwegian who were in charge of entertainment were kind enough to fly me to Bermuda to meet the boat. Because I thought for sure they would just send me back to LA and be like, sorry, bitch, try again. So anyway, so after all that drama in Dallas and I'm waiting at the airport, we're on the runway for almost 3 hours.
Oh, that's gross. That's the worst when you're stuck on the runway.
So I finally get off and then I have to call. So this is the first time I've worked for Norwegian.
Right.
This is my initial launch and I miss it. So I have to call and tell them I'm not going to be in New York tomorrow to get on the boat. And I was still okay. I didn't feel bad. I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then they were apologizing to me. Oh, I'm sorry this happened to you. So I was like, okay, cool. Obviously, they said it happens a lot and it's not my fault and whatever. And so then I realized, okay, well, I guess I'm staying in Dallas. But I had to wait to see if I could get my baggage because they said they shut the runway down for a storm. So they said the whole runway shut down. Our workers are not allowed to go on the runway. Like it's a hazard because there was lightning. Oh, so they wouldn't take anyone's baggage off the plane. So that was why I decided to stay and have a beer at the airport. It's not just because I love airport bars. So
I love airport bars too. I think even if I was a sober person, that would be the exception to the rule. I'd be like, but you have to drink before you get on an airplane. It relaxes you. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
I don't pop pills. I just drink an IPA in the morning before I get on a plane, and then I'm chilled out.
I don't do drugs.
That's true. I like it. All the sober people, not all of them, but some of them, but have other addictions. Right? They could be like popping pills or on different various forms of.
Christina, I've known you for a while, and I'm pretty sure you're okay.
I really am.
I don't think you have an addiction, but I sat at the bar and I ordered. And now, because I am new to the IPA thing, just like you said, I didn't look at the percentage of this.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so excited ever since you got me on this IPA in the last few months that I sit down like, what do you have on draft? And I just order something that looks fun. And I think this one was a strong one. I literally took like 2 sips, and I also called my mom.
Oh, well,
You know that thing where all of a sudden your mom's voice, you don't realize that you're like totally stressed, and all of a sudden tears just like started rolling.
Oh no.
But I didn't want her to know I was crying, so then I got off the phone, and then I was at the bar, and I couldn't get it to stop. To where in your head you're like, I'm fine, nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't. I just couldn't get the tears to stop coming out of my eyeballs.
No.
And you're just like, stop it, stop it.
Oh no.
But I did feel that switch after 2 sips. You feel when alcohol suddenly like kind of affects you really fast for some reason.
It's a strong one, baby. It's a strong one. And I'm not, yeah, it's good. I mean, then you could just have 1 or 2 and you could be done. I think that's what's supposed to be the plan.
That is what I like about IPA because, like you knew, I was a wine drinker for so long. And I just always, so many times felt like I was just getting so screwed over where you're paying so much more money than a beer.
Very true.
Getting like 1/10 of the
Of the volume of liquid. Yes, this is true.
So anyway, so I stayed in Dallas for a few days. It was lovely.
I know. I really wanted you to pick up some dudes.
I did meet a dude. Okay, so this is what I did. I didn't want to spend money because I didn't know how much I would need for the cruise since it was my first one. I didn't know how much money I'd end up spending. So I was like, I'm not going to blow my wad. And I had 3 nights in Dallas. So I'm like, I better be careful. There was this cool bar across the street that had happy hour where the beers were $3.
I love it.
So all 3 nights I went there, but only had 2. So I'm like, okay, $6 a night is what.
Dude, that's so good.
And
We
it
all
was-
need to move to Dallas.
It was one of those bars you're like, oh man. You know how you said you wish you had a bar where you're a regular?
Yes.
It was like after the first night I went in, the second night I went in, the bartender was like, Jen!
Oh,
I was like,
love
you know my name?
I love it.
They were so sweet.
I always want a local, but I feel like in LA, your local is the bar that's the cheapest Uber from your house.
I know.
That's not really local. I can't just like mosey across the street, you know?
Yeah. And there's hardly anywhere where you can get all the beers on tap for $3, not just the Bud Light.
Nowhere.
I hate when they're like, yeah, Coors Light is on. I'm like, no, I'll just pay the money. I don't want to pay for water.
Mm-hmm.
I did meet somebody, a pilot, who was super nice, and we spent 2 nights at that happy hour. You know when you said before, oh, somebody's good on paper?
Yes.
He was like perfect on paper, but I felt nothing.
Oh no.
And there's nothing you can do if you feel nothing.
That's very true.
If you don't want to kiss their lips.
I already got dumped by the house guy.
Oh
I got a dump. I got dumped. And here's the
Oh,
thing.
okay, I thought
I
you-
feel like, okay, it was a text dump. Here's the thing. I feel like if you've only gone out with somebody for 2 days, I feel like that's ghosting territory. I feel like then you just ghost. Like if I don't hear from you and you don't hear from me, it's done. But I feel like okay, obviously I left town. Remember when we first started, like on our first date, he was like, I asked him, oh, what happened with the last girl you were dating? And he goes, oh, she was gone all the time.
Yes, I
And
remember.
then I was like, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then it was like 15 days, I guess, had gone by, and I hadn't seen it. But I went out of town for a week. And no, I went out of town, I guess, for longer than that because I went to Vegas for those 3 days. And then I came back. Then I went to Vancouver. So I didn't really have any time. But yeah, and then I just got this text, and it was just like, well, I really enjoyed I've been thinking about it, and I really enjoyed our 2 dates together. But I don't think this is the right situation for me. And I would be super open to being friends, but I don't think I can continue with this. And then I was like it still stung a little bit, even though I think I was pushing down a lot of things that weren't right for me about the situation. But I think I was just like, again, the good on paper stuff. I'm like, no, I should give this a chance. I should give this a chance, even though there were a few things where I was like, I don't know. The way he cleaned knives after he cooked me that steak dinner was really scary. I can't explain it. But he was doing the dishes. It was like,
Wait,
really cleaning the knife. I don't know.
Oh, did you get a little sense of like Julia Roberts' husband and Sleeping with the Enemy?
I did, just a little bit.
Lined up the cans?
And I know exactly. I'm like, am I going to have to learn how to swim to stay in this relationship? Like,
okay, I just want to first off apologize for not asking you about it. I thought maybe you talked about it with Anessa, so I didn't know if I should.
No, I kind of saved that for you. And then we talked more about Jilling off last week.
You guys were texting a lot, though. So when you were in Vancouver, did the texting stop?
No, we were still texting a lot.
And then he just still came out with that weird, this isn't working?
We almost met up on the night of my book club, and then that didn't happen. But you know, it's fine because I feel like I wasn't really being honest with myself either. But I think I was just really excited to like be with somebody who kind of had their shit together, you know, without really, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think if a romance moves fast, it ends fast. And that did move fast, obviously. But that's also my fault because I think I was gunning it for the sex. Like date number 2, I'm the one suggested I go over to his house. I did kind of like, I was gunning it for the sex a little fast. But I didn't do it on the first date. I was proud of myself for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I used a condom. I mean, I'm getting better at this. Like,
okay, so I have to say, when I was on the boat in my room, all I could do was look around and be like, this is where it happened? Like this?
Did you picture the stick it to the wall, right? You knew exactly where I hid the pad, right? In the portal window. Like,
and then there's this nice little man who's also a crew member. So we're staying in the crew section, who has to come and clean all the crew rooms. And I just kept thinking,
we tip him.
This poor guy had to come clean up Christina's mess.
He did say, he was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna tip the the cleaner extra this week." But I don't let the cleaners come in every week. Like maybe
I put up the sign that said,
I'll put up a sign. You don't need to come in my mess. But definitely after that session, we were like, "Oh, we'll leave him a little extra money."
Yeah, as you should.
Oh my God.
It was so nice going on the boat after hearing your stories because then I could just have a visual of how everything's going down. Also, I couldn't, the last night, because we didn't have any shows, I did get a little bit drunk, but all the other nights I did not only because I had a show, but that crew area, I was so paranoid. I'm like, this is not the place I want to be trying to find my room.
It is confusing. It is definitely easy to get lost in those crew
hallways.
Very
easy. And also, there's all these people walking down dressed like you're like going on a spaceship. Like they all look so professional.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, they already looked at me a little strange.
I know. I feel like we do stick out like a sore thumb. They can just tell.
Most of them are in uniforms. I mean, they know. They're used to us by now, but I was a little paranoid.
But did you enjoy the crew bar?
Oh, the crew bar is awesome.
I mean, it's super cheap.
It's so cheap.
But it's so funny how like everybody will just buy like 12 beers and take them to the table. Like you could have walked in that night that you didn't have your finance set up yet, and somebody probably would have just given you a beer.
I did go there one night by myself, Friday after the show, and I only had 2 drinks. And I sat at a table by myself, and it was pretty crowded, but nobody talked to me. But
oh no!
But I might not have looked approachable. I feel like you have a more approachable face.
I think I definitely had some moments like that too, where I would just be there by myself. But I mean, luckily on that first cruise I did, this guy came right up to me and he's like, "You're Allison's friend, aren't you?" Because Allison had kind of told her friends that I was about to get on that ship. That was the epic.
That's cool.
So then it was good because then some people were looking out for me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And then the second cruise I had Johnny, so it was like okay.
Yeah.
And then that third week I had DJ Cooch, so
yeah, you're set. The 2 comics I was with didn't drink. Which is fine. I don't care. But
no, the first cruise I was on
just makes it like when you're in go to the crew bar. Yeah. But it's okay.
Especially when it's like crazy dance night and everybody's like, follow the leader, follow the leader. And you're like, then it's a little more embarrassing when you're by yourself. You're like, oh no, how am I going to join this conga line and not stick out having no friends? Like,
follow the leader. Christina's like, who's the leader?
I know. I'm like, I don't really know the leader. Whose hips am I touching? Am I going to get me too? Like, I don't know. I don't know if conga lines are legal anymore.
It is pretty awesome that they make it so cheap.
It is super great.
I'll probably take more advantage of it when I'm on the 2-week one, because being there, especially since I was late and only there for 4 days, when I did go down to the crew bar, I felt so guilty. Like, I kind of want to be out in the boat, like where the ocean is, not underground.
I definitely, well, there is one that's outside that stays open until maybe only like 9 or something. Yeah, that one's hard to find though. I couldn't even find it on my own for the first bit. I always had to ask Johnny to take me there. But I definitely prefer like the guest bars, like Oceans or whatever.
And you're right. By Saturday night, I had to turn down drinks because I'm like, I can't.
Oh yeah. No, people were just like, and did you go Howl of the Moon?
I did.
But you didn't fuck a dueling piano player.
No.
Bummer.
Did
missing
you?
Out. Obviously.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yes. Did you not?
I kept picturing him playing a guitar somewhere.
No, Howl at the Moon.
Because I know you said he worked there, and then I thought when I went there, maybe they'd have people playing guitar as backup. Because I'm like, I don't know why I had it in my head that he's a guitar player.
No, like nothing is showing age like fucking a dueling piano player.
Yeah, but
like,
that's hot because those guys are talented.
they are so good, right?
Yeah, I think that's very sexy. I don't care how old they are. Oh, that makes your story even better. I did not know. I don't know how I missed that part of it.
I mean, I feel like that day we went out to Bermuda, the other comics were definitely like, making all the easy jokes. Being like, oh, I bet you were howling at the moon last night, weren't you? But like.
There was a girl doing it, which was awesome.
Oh,
so it was a girl and a guy, and she had an awesome voice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I didn't stay too long. So in my head, I kind of had this feeling it would be like a bar, everybody more like standing up and dancing and stuff.
Right.
But everybody was sitting the same way they did at the comedy show.
No,
just
but
like
I would
watching like audience members.
I would just stand against that bar, and I made friends with the bartender, so I would always be like standing right there at the bar.
But it was a very subdued crowd. I'm sure there's nights it gets rowdier.
Oh yeah, I
like
think
they
so,
even
too.
said, doesn't anyone want to dance? And so I ran out, and I was the only one. Me and like a 10-year-old flossing.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I was like, well, I can't do this in more than 3 minutes, or it's gonna get awkward. But yeah, I think there's probably nights when the crowd is more amped up, and mine was not. So you're not staying friends with the house dude, right? Sorry, I just switched the
No,
subject
you know what's
back.
funny is at first I was like, yeah, it's good. And it was so awkward because his text came in when I was having lunch with my dad and my grandma. And literally, like 2 seconds before the text came in, my grandma was like, so how's your love life? And I went, boring. And then it was like, beep. It was like dumb text. I was like, wow. It's like I just manifested that.
That's hilarious. Wow, your manifestations work fast.
They do work fast. It's like I throw something out to the universe, and then the universe is like, sure, we'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what are you going to do if you're friends?
Yeah. So like stung a little bit, even though it's not enough to really get stung, but it's still, because I don't know, because I know there was a few things that were off for me too, but I was just kind of denying them a little bit. And I don't even know why I was not being honest about the situation myself, but I was like, no, like maybe, when you're kind of just like open-minded and you're like, no, maybe this could work for us. Maybe this could work for me. And then it's like, is it just like the shock of being with somebody that's good on paper? And you're like, push it down, Christina. Keep moving with this. This is appropriate for you.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Because I think sometimes if you're not attracted to somebody that seems so good, you're like, what's wrong with me? Am I only like self-destructive and
I know.
only like guys that aren't good for me? But I do think it's the same. Like when I said about the pilot, I would have loved to like force myself to try and be I mean, not really. He lives across the world, but it's a physical thing. If you're not attracted, you're not. If it's not,
but I still was quite attracted to him. Like I like the way there was a few things that were like it was fine. Everything was fine. But I think it's just always, it's uncanny how guys always figure out that you're not the one right after you slept with them.
He's
What timing? But then again, we were still texting for like a solid 2 weeks after that.
I know. You think you said it was good.
So then it's like, then you kind of get in your head a little bit and you're like, well, did he go down like a rabbit hole of looking at me on the internet and find things that he didn't like? Or do you know what I mean?
No, I think it sounds like if one of the first things he brought up is he doesn't like people who travel, then
Oh, I know.
he shouldn't have even swiped on you as knowing you're a comedian.
I mean, I knew that for sure. And I feel like I did bring that up on a previous podcast when I first started talking about him. I was like, well, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then it was like, a problem. So that's fair.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish we could have at least gone to Vegas together. You know what I mean? He says he's got a new technique for video poker. I would have really liked to learn that.
I'll go to Vegas with you.
Always, please. I need you to come to Vegas.
I think if you're with a guy and you don't feel that tickle in your clit, then you gotta move.
If farts are tickling your clit more than men, then you got a problem.
Okay, we gotta ask Paul. So I texted Christina last night from the plane because I said, "Oh no, I just farted, but because of the angle I'm sitting, it went up the front side." And she wrote back, "Oh, the clit tickler, I love that."
Yeah, Shannon Laverty in Canada has a joke about the clit tickling fart, the one that comes up the front and it tickles your clit. And then Jen had an important question that she has to ask you, Paul.
Yeah, I said, do guys get if it happens to a guy, does it just get blocked by the balls, or does the bubbles come up the front of yours?
Oh, you're talking about the ball rumbler?
I just blew it out. Oh shit! Sorry.
Don't worry, Inessa did that twice last week. It's not you.
You have a name for it too?
No.
Oh, you just made it up.
Yeah.
I like that word for it,
The
though.
Not
ball
bad, right?
rumbler.
Yeah,
The
ball rumbler.
Does that happen to you? It happens to me a lot in the car. Like I think because of the angle I'm sitting,
Yeah.
little bubbles will go up.
Yeah, you just, it's like,
I'm going to start calling those parts a ball rumbler. I love that.
you know the uvula in the mouth? Like in your mouth, in the back of your throat, where
Yeah.
like like when you burp, it
Yeah.
just kind of go, tick. That's what it is.
Okay, so you guys feel it, but
Yeah.
does it make it up to your penis?
No.
No. So the balls do block it a
Yeah.
little. Okay.
It's a deflection.
Because I feel like mine comes all the way up almost to my belly button.
Yeah, it's going to feel like that sometimes. Or what if the air is just going right back in? There's a
deflection.
Yeah, we have more structures in the way.
Okay, that's what I thought. This was our important text conversation. I literally had tears coming out of my eyes on the plane.
I will say this. I feel like I'm very sex positive. Like, I'm still very proud of myself for having sex, right? Like, I'm like, okay, I got laid. Like, yeah, high five. Congratulations to me. I still got it. And I should tweet this or whatever. But then I'm also very sex paranoid, where it's just like for like 3 weeks after I fuck a guy, it's just me looking at my vagina every day. Like, now are you okay?
What?
Now are you okay? Now are you okay?
What are these guys doing to your...
Nothing. I just get paranoid. But I'm also very susceptible to UTIs.
Oh, you're paranoid that you got something.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, damn, somebody's beating you up. Christina listens to that music. Beat that pussy.
So I got so paranoid. But anyways. And then, yeah.
Oh, is UTI comes normally? I've never had one. Does it
And
come
then I
normally from raw dog or from a condom?
You can still get it with a condom for sure.
Either way.
It's like more about not peeing before and after sex.
I would think it would happen more with the condom just because that's like latex, like rubbing against it or whatever.
I know.
Oh, you're supposed to pee right? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's important.
Anyway, so I get paranoid about stuff like that too.
Well,
But
we
that's
know
the
you didn't
big
get
thing.
one on the boat because it sounded like you were in the bathroom a lot after sex.
Not only did I go for my after sex pee, but I went for my after sex diarrhea. So we know I was very good at getting everything out of my body on the cruise ship.
Well, those cruise ships have some strong suction in their toilets. It's one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
like where you hit the flush button and it's like, don't stand too close because it might suck the jewelry right off your wrist. It's like,
I know. Did you notice it actually says you're supposed to close the toilet lid before you flush the toilet?
I didn't see that, but I started doing it on my own just because I was like, this shit.
And it's kind of terrifying.
Because the stronger the suction, the more I think sometimes the spray back comes back up. So you're like, oh,
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of
That
dangerous.
was another thing about that guy that we disagreed on. Not to say that this would be like a deal breaker if I was dating somebody and he didn't do this. But I remember one of the things we disagreed on is I think that, like, as a single person, I live by myself.
House
Like,
guy?
if I go pee. I don't always flush the toilet every time. I'll be like, but he's like, no, you should still flush the toilet every time. I'm like, isn't that a bit of a waste?
I don't alone because it is a waste of water. But I would not do that at somebody's house that I just started dating.
Oh, me neither. I was definitely flushing the
Oh,
toilet
okay.
there. But I said at home, I don't always flush the toilet. But
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't. You're not supposed to because environmental.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Obviously, he doesn't even care. Does he also use straws?
obviously.
Thank God you got rid of him.
I know. He's so environmentally unaware. I can't
Okay,
be
guy,
with
you
that.
have a house, whatever. At least we're taking care of.
And then guess what happens, guys? What happens the second after I get the dump? I just get right back on the app. Start swiping again.
Well, that's good. You got to.
So many new matches.
It'd be so much worse if you were crying for like 3 weeks over somebody that you dated for.
no, not
Which
that bad.
I don't know if you know what happened to me after things didn't work out with our arcade boy, but it took me a lot longer to get over it than
Arcade boy.
Christina, you're an inspiration to us all.
You just gotta keep on swiping. Just keep moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving along, pals. Move it along, pals. Like,
I
yeah.
know. It's
Oh
tough.
man. But and then I started swiping various people. And then there's this one guy and he keeps like writing me every morning calling me sunshine. So I'm like, sunshine. So I can't tell if he's a sociopath or 50. Right.
How
It's a
early?
fine line between when you call somebody sunshine.
How early does he write you in the morning?
Pretty early.
Like 6 a.m.?
Let's say like 8.
Is he doing that thing of like, hey, sunshine, have a great day?
Yeah, like, hey, sunshine, good morning, or whatever.
You have to go out with him now because I need the story.
I think I almost did go out with him, and it was so funny because I had one of those days where I'd gone to yoga, then I did Fryman, so I felt amazing, but I looked disgusting. But I was like, I don't care. You know what? For all the times I get dressed up and I make myself look great for a date, and the date is terrible, I'm like, maybe the key to success is to just show up, be kind of gross, and then who cares?
That seems to work for you.
I know. And so I was willing. And then so I sent him a message. I was like, listen, I got a little window between like 3 and 5:30. I can meet you in like Studio City for a drink.
You're just like George Costanza when he decides to do everything opposite of what he normally does.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's exactly what I wanted to do that day.
Can I call you George now?
I feel like you could. Costanza.
Just for tonight, at least.
Hoochie mama. I'm a hoochie mama.
If we're at a bar and I'm like, my friend George would like another
Yes.
drink, they'd be like, what the fuck is going
I
on?
like this.
here?"
George. Call me George. Call me Fred. Call me any old man name. It's great.
Oh, Freds. I did have to kiss a Fred at the Howl at the Moon.
Whoa. Sorry.
Yeah, that's probably what my kiss tasted like. After people buy me red wine and beer. That's a good combo.
Oh my God. That's amazing. That's so funny.
And I also may have hit them up for a cigarette when they were smoking.
Perfect.
So I'm sure it was delicious. I
forget.
Sometimes I feel like when people buy you a lot of drinks, I just sometimes feel this need to give them a oral good thank you.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like
Oral
saying
thank
the
you.
word thank you doesn't feel like enough. I feel like my tongue needs to do the talking.
I feel like this guy needs my tongue in his throat.
Because I literally
so thank
was
you.
like, I have to go now. Because I was like getting nervous. It wasn't that late, but we had to wake up at 6 a.m. the next day
I
to do
know.
like immigration and shit to get
Yeah.
off the boat. So I was kind of paranoid. So I was like, I gotta go. And then I just leaned over and like kissed him. And then he's like, well, take my number. And I was just like, you're not gonna hear from me. I'm just saying thank you with my tongue.
Where does he live?
Jersey with Murphy Bed Mike.
Yes. Oh my God. I feel like we do need a trip to New York.
Maybe he has a Murphy bed.
Oh my God, I would die. It's back to me just chilling off to Murphy Bed Mike. Tell you, that's where my heart is safe with Murphy Bed Mike.
Murphy Bed Mike better be listening to our podcast.
Can you imagine? I'm always surprised. Like every time I go out, I went out with Monica Nevi on Saturday, and I was telling her a story. She's like, "I've already heard it on the podcast," and I was like, "Oh my God, you listened to our podcast?" And I was so flattered.
Wow, that's so nice.
You never know who's listening. I tell you.
Yeah, judging from the emails I get that tell us who's listening, it says U.S. They just put a straight line, like not not available.
Oh really?
But I think it's because you have to be down in like the low number. It's fine. We've
Right.
got people listening. We're good.
I mean, yes, we're a niche market. We're so hipster. We have a very exclusive listenership.
We do.
Very exclusive.
Do you think Paul's going to poo poo because he's been
Gone
gone a long time?
I know. Is this when we really tell the best stories right now? Tell me who you blew. Come on. Nobody's listening. Paul's not here.
Nobody's listening.
We're basically just two girls having beers right now.
I feel like we just got abandoned.
I know. Oh my God.
Why does this keep happening to us?
I don't know. Oh my God. I got dumped again. Great.
I wish we could have my Dallas airport shuttle driver on the podcast.
Oh my God. Really?
Okay, first of all, I was so excited that my hotel had a free shuttle from the airport because I don't want to pay for Ubers. But
yeah.
this guy picked me up. You know when somebody has a personality where they seem like they might be just a little bit special, but
Yeah.
you can't tell if they are or if their personality is just so excited.
Right.
So he wouldn't stop talking, and he was so excited to be at the airport, and he's like, usually every time I come here, I bring candy for the guys that work there. He was so nice. But then we were driving back to the hotel, and he's like, don't the clouds look amazing, just like mashed potatoes? And then he was like, yum, 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 yum.
Oh my God.
And like 3 different times he
that-
goes,
nom, 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 nom. That is a little.
except he didn't call them potatoes. He goes, They look just like mashed potatoes. I was like, oh my God, come home with me.
Oh my
I'm going
God.
to take you back to LA.
I wish we could call this episode nom 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 nom. I feel like people were like, what? What is this episode called? Nom 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 nom. I can barely do it.
It was so great.
Oh my God.
What else is on our list?
I did have a bit of a meltdown last Wednesday. Did I tell you about my meltdown?
No, but I have to say I'm shocked because you never have meltdowns.
I don't often have meltdowns.
Or you never talk about them if you do.
It was honestly, it was more of a break. I'm gonna, you know me, I put a positive spin on everything. It was less of a meltdown and more of a breakthrough.
Wait, where were you? I need details.
I went to somebody's place. Okay, you know how in LA everybody's making something and everybody's like, do you want to come be in our this or come do this and come be in our thing?
I know who
And
you're
so
talking about.
I signed up to do something that I didn't really know what we were doing. I knew that we were going to make something live streaming on the internet. And I kind of thought I was just going to be a body that was going to be bossed around. And then we get there, and it turns out we're kind of making a movie in 6 hours. 6 hours of my life of my
Six
hours.
hours?
Yeah, from 3 to 9. And not only am I a part of it, but like I'm a writer on it. So now I'm going to be writing, but I'm going to be taking suggestions from the internet. And somehow the internet has pointed us in the direction of writing. So we had to write about raspberry jam, goblins in a court.
So wait, they're making a movie out of like an improv.
I mean, that's the thing.
Improv suggestions.
This might be good if you were in improv, but I'm not. I'm like a stand-up and a writer, and I have so many projects I'm really passionate about that I procrastinate and I get scared of and I don't work hard enough on. And so then I'm with these other two writers, and these two people are kind of like directing us to write and tell us what to write. And then I just start shutting down. Like I can't even talk. I don't have any suggestions. I don't want to be there anymore. I'm like, I think about
what hour was it? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, it was only 4 o'clock. It was only the second hour.
Oh, no.
It was like we had just started. And I don't know. I was so embarrassed. I was so mad at myself. I'm like, what if I spent 6 hours a day writing the projects that I'm working on that I think are like genuinely very good and interesting and not just some random thing I'm throwing together to see, you know, if I can impress a few people on the internet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like that. I don't care about just doing something for the sake of doing something. I only want to do things that I think are great or things I really believe in or think are interesting. And then I got mad at myself and I just internalized everything. And I was like, you're such a dumbass. Like, why don't you write? Why don't you spend 6 hours working on your pilot or working on your script or your book or the things that you really want to do? Why are you throwing away 6 hours for free and writing about raspberry jam? And then I just broke and I went, I want to go. And I was like live streaming on the internet just like this. And I was like, I want to go. And they're like, what? You do? What? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. And then I remember.
Good for you.
I know. And I went upstairs and I got my purse.
Because you're a little bit people please, not to be in a bad way. I am too, but
yeah.
To be that honest and just say you want to go. I would have been so nervous, like these people might hate me. Or
it was the scariest thing I've ever done. And you're right, I am a people pleaser.
I didn't mean that to be mean.
No, but it's an honest criticism. It's not good. Like, it's fine to please people, you know, when it's appropriate. But then there's sometimes where it's just like, why are you doing this? And anyway, so then I said I was going. And then like I got so awkward, but also I got this like rush of like energy where I didn't know.
Because you were being honest.
I know. I was like, am I going to laugh? Am I going to cry? And I came down the stairs and I was just like, I'm sorry, everyone. I have a personality disorder.
What?
I know. And I feel like that's disrespectful to people that really have personality disorders. I don't. I just didn't know what else to say. And then
I feel like I would have said the same thing.
I know. And then they gave me a big applause break. And they're like, no, thank you for like trying and showing up. And they were really, really nice. And she, like, you know, texted me at the end of the day and was genuinely concerned and being like, oh, I hope you're okay. And I was just like, it was actually so great because then I went and I fucking grabbed my laptop and I fucking went out and I wrote for like 4 hours that night. And I did delete 20 pages of my script, but at least I rewrote 10.
Good for you.
And I felt so good about writing what I want to write and my ideas. And as opposed to writing about like goblins and raspberry jam. And I just, yeah, it was a big breakthrough for me, but it was
good.
like very emotional and awkward. And Yeah, but time is money, and I waste a lot of time.
That's really good because I think I would have stayed for the whole 6 hours.
I know. I could see how you would, but I literally couldn't do it. I was like, I cannot be here and
But
do
I also
this.
could see why you said yes because I feel like if comics asked me to do something like for free, you're like, oh, I want to help out my fellow comics. And
Same. And
you
I
don't
really
know what you're getting into.
I really like her, the comic who, invited me on board. And everybody there was great. Everybody was so cool. It's just the actual project and the game itself. Maybe more for improvisers, but it definitely, I don't write like that. You know me, I write alone, and I like to write from real life. Like, I'm not necessarily I don't want to shock anybody, but I'm probably not going to write a book about raspberry jam.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably don't have a lot of material about jams. I got to work on that. And goblins also, I'm not.
Well, I'm very happy for
goblins.
you.
The court thing might have been the only thing I might have gotten on board with. But
I'm glad you had a breakthrough.
it was a breakthrough, and it was a little spastic, and it was so funny because I've never had that kind of high energy where I was so, I was giddy. I was laughing like a psychopath, once I actually was outside of the building, and it was almost like, am I going to cry? But then it was like, my body's like, no, bitch, this is what you're supposed to do.
Wow.
And I never cried, but I was close because I was just like, there was a weird nervous energy.
Yeah.
But then, then
I love that you said I have a personality.
oh my God, it was quite the announcement, guys, in front of a room of 13 people. I'm sorry, everyone, I have a personality disorder. That's the name of this episode.
I'm sure they were all like, yeah, you're a comic.
I know, they probably were. They were like, yeah, all comedians are a little weird. But that was the hardest I've worked on my script in ages.
I'm so glad you laughed.
Thank you. It was so motivating and oddly inspiring. But it's so, and that's what I give to those people is that they have that work ethic that no, we have a schedule. Here's our crew. We're making this. Do you know what I mean? They've definitely got the work ethic, but I feel like when you don't have, I get that game though, because some people are great at just improvising content, but that's not my game. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. I want to really craft my own stories and, but yeah,
good.
so good for them and their work ethic, but at least, and then I was inspired to work on my own shit. So their work ethic rubbed off on me and I didn't have to be in that room for another 5 hours. Success, guys. It was a breakthrough.
This breakthrough is sponsored by Dudes Brewery Santa Monica.
That's it.
Helping Christina leave awkward situations.
For real.
One IPA at a time.
One IPA at a time. But anyways, oh my God.
That was awesome.
And live streaming to the internet. So I was so scared to check Twitter because I tweeted that I was going to do this. And then I was just like, oh my God.
Delete,
right now people are gonna be like, where did that girl in the glasses go?
Christina announces she has personality disorder on the live.
I hope they wrote that into the script. I hope the goblin has a personality disorder.
Speaking of awkward situations, did you get stuck with anybody talking to you at the buffet?
Oh yeah, there's always people up there. And sometimes they'd they quote one of my jokes or something,
There was people who were like, oh, good show. Oh, that was fun. But one guy literally cornered me, which at first I was like, whatever, I got nothing else to do. So I was just talking to him. But for 20 minutes, then he decided to go into why the earth is flat.
Oh, that's crazy. I saw you text me that. I was, oh my God. Oh no.
Which I really don't care what people's beliefs are. If you think the earth's flat, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever
Right.
makes you happy. As long as you're not harming others over your belief.
Exactly.
Which I don't think any flat earthers are going out killing people and stuff. So that's
Exactly.
fine.
Yeah.
But when he started telling me his reasons, the first one was, if the earth is round, then how come stewardesses can still walk down the aisle on the airplane in a straight line? Why are they not tilting up?
Oh my God.
So I was like, okay. So he thinks if the earth was round, it would just constantly be round everywhere you went. There would always be a tilt. Then the second one is my favorite. Those moments where you're like, why isn't anybody next to me to share this
Yeah.
or to hear this with me? Then he tells me, and he had one kind of wonky eye. He had an eyeball, but he kept just closing it as if he didn't. There was something wrong with one eye. So he was like a pirate, one eye closed. And his second reason was, he goes, I mean, come on. Because we had just left to go back to New York on the boat.
Right.
And he's like, if the earth was round, this boat would have to be going uphill to get back to New York. And I was like, oh my God, this might be the greatest thing I've ever been told at a buffet.
Oh my God.
I'm just picturing the boat, like trying to climb up to get back to New York. But he's dead serious. He's like, I mean, it makes sense, right? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
But I will say, if there's any time you're going to think the earth is flat, it's on a cruise. Because when you look out into the water, I mean, that's just nonstop flat water.
It does. It does just look flat. So
that is the place to be.
For flat earthers.
If you want to believe that. What if he came on the boat only to reassure himself?
How about when you like first get on the boat and you're like walking through that buffet, as you say, and then but you don't, you're still new to cruises. And I know a lot of comics do jokes about this on the boat. But that guy at the tambourine following me around the whole buffet, because I like to make a whole lap around the buffet to decide what I'm going to eat before I
totally did the same thing.
You got to make the full lap, because if you just grab a plate and you start right away, you will have so much fucking food on your plate.
I made a full lap.
Me too. I make a full lap, and then I grab the plate. Then I make my decisions of what's going on the plate.
Certain parts of the buffet, there'll be a huge line, and then you walk around, and the other half...
The other side doesn't have the big line.
Because the lines creep me out when there's too many people going for food.
No, because you don't want to be stuck with somebody who saw your set, and then they're going to be like... But that buffet. So then I make my full lap. But then that guy with the tambourine was like right behind me.
I don't know what that is because I didn't get the initial launch.
Oh, because oh my God, there's a guy in the tambourine. You know how they're like big into hand sanitizer.
Yeah, washy.
Yeah, washy. So the whole guy, like, he's following me around the whole lap I do around the buffet, and he's like washy, freshy. And then I just wanted to turn around and be like, listen, I know I need to shower, but I do that after lunch.
Was it the little Asian guy?
Yeah.
That guy's hilarious.
Washy. Oh, they're like famous by the end of the cruise, and then all the comics want to call it washy.
I didn't know when you said washy. I didn't know what it meant because I didn't get there early. But that guy would come through while I was eating breakfast, and he would be announcing what the dinner special was.
Yes.
So he came through one day, and he's like, sushi night.
I know. They love it. But they really promote sanitizing your hands.
They do. Also, sushi night was the last night of the cruise.
Yeah.
Which is day 7.
Yeah.
Why would you save raw fish for like the last day?
That's a good question.
I did not go to sushi night.
That should have been first.
Yeah, like Mexican night should be last.
Yes, you're right. Refried beans are canned. Those will last forever.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. Day 7 is sushi night. Like, so the raw fish has been sitting in the boat because I know you didn't get new raw fish in Bermuda.
That's so true. Yeah, exactly. How much would that be? Like $87,000?
Seriously, Paul's never coming back.
Oh my God, that's it. Oh my God.
Guys, this podcast is going to be 2 hours because we lost Paul.
He's sticking it to the wall there. Maybe he's gone for his after sex diarrhea.
He's sticking it to the wall.
He's sticking it to the wall. He's writing on the bathroom wall. Oh well, might as well go long.
All those people that complain when we do 30 minutes are going to be really excited.
I know.
My friend had a good idea. So I told one of my friends my dilemma of, I think he was talking about this podcast, and we were talking about how it's good because we have some differences, like your whole like dildo usage, and I'm scared. Oh, I'm sorry. Vibrator.
Oh, yeah. Vibrator. That's right. She's
dildo.
finally getting it, folks. Yeah,
I know.
Finally.
But he had a really good suggestion. He said, there should be like disposable dildos. Because I told him how I can't keep it in my apartment because I'm scared that I'll die and my mom will find it. I thought that was a really good idea.
That is a good idea.
Disposable dildo.
And I have to tell you, because I don't think I talked about this on the podcast now because we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks. But, so I went to Victoria, obviously, to do those shows at Heckler's because I wouldn't take my vibrator home if I was just going to be at my parents' house. But, like, I would use it, obviously, on the road. Yeah. But actually, for the first time in a long time, I used my fingers. And
you did text me?
Yeah. And I was like, shit, that's a lot of work. Like, you're right, because especially when you do have to watch porn or, like, lick yourself or something, because when you're a vibrator, it doesn't really matter how wet you are. It's just, like, you just fucking stick it on, and it just vibes, and then you're good. But when you're using your fingers, yeah, you need some lubrication. It was a lot more work.
Yeah, it doesn't work without lubrication. You got to watch porn or something.
But it was good that I did that.
I'm so sorry you had to do all that work.
Oh, my God, I know. The humanity. What kind of country do we live in if we have to use our fingers to jill off?
Now you know what I go through.
Oh, my God, I can't believe it. Oh, it's way more work. Now I, like, know what I feel like. It's very weird. Oh, my God.
I know what I feel. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God.
The sacrifices you make.
It was a big sacrifice.
To go back to Canada.
Oh, I wish we could go to Victoria together. It was so fun. Well, Victoria, the ship stops there in Seattle.
Does it really?
Yeah, when you do that Alaska run, it stops in. It stops
I'll see
there.
Canada for the first time?
Yes, you will.
Are they going to allow me to get off the boat?
You know what? I was not going to say that on the air, but now I just thought of that right now, too.
Just to let you guys know, I may have trouble trying to get into Canada because of a past driving situation that they don't let Americans into Canada for.
Oh.
I wonder if that might be an issue.
I feel like it'll be a good experiment, because then if you just can't go in, you can't go in, and you just go back on the ship, no big deal. So yeah, it'll be a good trial run, so you can find out.
But when you get off the boat, you're only passing through boat security.
But I'm sure,
Like in Bermuda, there wasn't a Bermuda
I know,
officer
because
checking.
I don't think those islands give a fuck.
Yeah, maybe if you're just on a boat going to an island, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but I feel like with Canada, there's definitely going to be customs agents. But it'll be a good experiment, because
Yeah.
then if you're like, you know what, bro, you're right. All right, I'm just going to go back on the ship.
Yeah.
Washy time for me. They got a buffet and a pool. I don't need Canada. I'll see you next time.
Oh my God, I can't wait to find out.
I know. This is actually going to be this will be the cheapest way for you to figure out if you're allowed in Canada.
Yeah, all right. Good to know.
Yeah. But even if you just have to see Victoria from the boat, you'll be like, oh, it's still quite nice.
Yeah.
But I really want you to go to Ardeen and get these cheap flats. Two for 20 at Ardeen, man. I mean, not that you don't want to smell them, but they're so comfortable. They're the most comfortable. 2 for 20 Canadian. That's like $15, and you get 2 pairs of shoes, and they're so fucking comfortable.
Wow. All right. I'm
So,
in.
for our Canadian listeners, Ardeen, it's like one of those stores that's like, buy 3 pairs of earrings, get 7 for free. And you're like, how much lead poisoning am I going to get from the store? But then you don't care. Those shoes are so comfortable.
Paul's back.
We were worried about you. What'd you have for lunch?
Was it all that talk about bubbles?
Oh yeah.
Rumbling your balls?
Did you have
Oh,
some
did you
ball
think I was in
rumblers
the-
back there?
Oh, did you think I was in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
I was on the phone.
Oh,
Christina said you were sticking it to the wall in the bathroom.
oh my God.
Just tell us you were, just so we feel loved.
I was in the bathroom.
Just so we feel attractive.
I was on my phone while taking a dump.
I mean,
No.
we've all been there.
No.
She's like, no. I'm like, always.
That's the only time I take.
Oh yeah. Phone in a dump.
Guys, this is a clean podcast.
Sure it is.
The guy in front of me on the plane was reading the Bible.
Wow, better than the Quran.
I was like, that's not too.
Sorry.
6.9% beer.
Oh, shit.
6.9.
That's the beer talking, right?
Oh, I'm totally kicking your ass.
I like beer, okay? I like craft beer, okay?
Reading the Bible's fine. My dad does it a lot. But I feel like the Bible isn't one of those books that usually makes it out.
But they probably just got off holiday and got a free copy of it from the drawer in the hotel room bedstand.
He wouldn't steal it if he's a Christian.
I don't know. Maybe he has a deal with the Lord. You're allowed to get a free Bible at a hotel. That was one of the first jokes I ever wrote when I was a kid. When I was like, so I started comedy at 19. I was like, these are just like dumb, whatever. You're 19. I've just started comedy. But I'm like, do hotels that are owned by Jehovah's Witnesses still have Bibles in the nightstand drawer? Or do they just have a stack of pamphlets?
When the fun stops.
When the fun stops. Oh my God, that'd be the best. We should do that. We should go next time we're in Vegas, let's replace the Bible with a stack of those when the fun stops pamphlets.
Oh my gosh. That's
Because
so
you know what?
funny.
Wow, the texting did sure stop for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. Remember, I was listening to our old episode where we discussed me first going over to his house. And then him being like, I don't want to watch TV. I want to get to know you.
Well, that should have been a red flag.
I know.
No, I'll tell you. Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing you said that was a red flag for me, but it's also just me being not into intimacy and stuff.
Okay.
When you told me that you both put on your pajamas and then sat on the couch for a glass of wine to get to know each other.
I know.
It reminded me of when I went to one Goof's house last year, and he said, so this is a guy I had hooked up with like 9 years ago. You know who it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then he found out I was like single again and was like, hey, come to my house, whatever. So I was like, oh, maybe. Because in my head, I thought the sex was really good. I was wrong. But he texted me, oh, bring your PJs. And I was like, what? Are we having a slumber party? I thought you were inviting me over for sex.
But maybe, I know.
So when you said the pajama thing, all of a sudden I was like, ooh, God,
Oh,
PJs.
no. I know. Well, yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I did. I gunned it for the sex a little too fast.
You didn't do anything wrong. You said you weren't really attracted. I mean, not that you weren't attracted, but you said.
I was attracted to him.
I'm sorry, wait. Let's remind you of Melissa's thing. If it's
Oh,
not a
that's
fuck yeah.
right.
You weren't excited.
You're right.
You weren't
I was
excited.
I was still curious about it, but I wasn't sold. And yeah, Melissa said the best thing last week, Paul, after we left the Jamie Kennedy podcast that we did with the Chad Zumach, the Sit Down Zumach podcast, another comedy pop-up production. Yeah, so I was talking about I was supposed to go on a date I was going to go back out with the PDA guy.
Yes. Yeah.
But I was like, I still kind of like on the fence about it. And she goes, Chiefus, that's what we call each other. Chief, guess what? This is now my decision-making mantra, by the way. She goes, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. And I was like, that's fucking gold.
Yeah, if you're not excited.
Yeah, if you're not excited, don't do it. And don't.
Because you weren't excited at all about the mini golf guy, and that turned out to be a bad date.
I know, and I still just did it. Why do I keep doing things that people want me to do? And that was my breakthrough that I had with the personality disorder declaration. But yeah, I feel like I'm reaching this like nice breakthrough right now where I'm not going to do things just because people expect me to do them, or because I think I'm supposed to, or because I'm being nice and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. From now on, I think I'm just going to do what I fucking want. Even the other day, I was going to go pick up Monica to come over to my house because I wanted her to see my house before we went to that party. And then I got halfway up Laurel Canyon and I was like, I can't do this. And I made a U-turn. I was like, you know what? I'll just meet you at the party. It's going to take me 46 minutes from here to pick you up and it's not worth it. Like,
oh, wow.
and
Good
she's
for
like,
you.
yeah, but she was like, sure, no problem. She doesn't care, right? I love Monica Nevy, by the way. Big shout out to Monica Nevy. She's hilarious comic. She's always touring this country. And so fucking cool and so fucking funny. But yeah, you know, I loved her so much. I wanted to go pick her up. I also wanted to show her my place. But then just being in the car and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I was stuck. You know, when you're stuck. And then there was this opening to make a U-turn on Laurel Canyon before I hit Mulholland. And I was
That's
like,
a sign.
That was a sign. There was an opening and I went for it. And that's what you got to do now. You got to go for those openings and make more U-turns and get out of there when you know things are going to be like.
I hope this isn't your way of quitting Jillin off.
No.
She's like, and by the way, something else I have to tell you.
Guys, guess what?
Jen, I've just been coming here because I'm concerned about you. You're so lonely. I've just been showing up.
You know, if there's one thing I can commit to, you guys, it's definitely Paul, Jen Murphy, and Jillin.
Wait, you said Paul first.
Well, we have the connection. He always dates Sagittarius.
Fine.
It's true. I will never quit Jillin off. Never.
Well, that's the end of our podcast
This
for
is here
today.
to stay. 2 listeners or 4, I don't care. I'm here for you.
Guys, email us at jillinoffpod@gmail.com.
Please.
My name's Jen Murphy.
My name is Christina Walkinshaw.
And this is Paul.
This is Paul Antonio, everyone.